Today we're looking at a phenomenon known as use it or lose it, the practice of going on a spending binge at the end of the year before funds expire and go back to the Treasury. We had a hearing on this same subject 2 years ago, and what we heard was shocking. Our witness then, Dr. Fichtner, who is back to testify today, told us that September spending nearly doubles as compared to August, which is already higher than average. Another study showed, on average, spending jumps nearly 500% in the last week of the fiscal year as compared to the preceding 51-week average. Not only that, we have seen data indicating that on the last day of the fiscal year, money actually moves from west or moves to the west as the sun sets, and they continue to spend it as 5 o'clock approaches on the West Coast. That's the data, but the stories we have heard may be even more telling. We've been told of the military hovering aircrafts at the end of runways just to burn off fuel, and soldiers sent to the shooting range sometimes for an entire day just to expend ammunition. Of course, I cannot forget when we took over this subcommittee, we found toner cartridges for an obsolete printer stacked to the ceiling in the subcommittee's office space because the chairman preceding had said, we got to spend it, we got to spend it, we got this money, we got to get rid of it. So I'm not sure exactly what happened to those cartridges, but I know that they were a waste of money. So there's no question this happens, but some argue it's solely caused by continuing resolutions and that the purchases really are not bad, just delayed. I don't like continuing resolutions and have never really voted for one, and I agree they play a part in the end of the year spending, but the data does not support that this is good spending that is just simply delayed to the end of the year. Studies have shown that the quality of contracts written at the end of the year are almost 5 times lower quality than those written during the rest of the fiscal year. We discovered that while the State Department and USAID spend roughly 25% of their budget in September, more than a third of the waste we found in these agencies seemed to be found in September. This includes funding for such things as ultimate frisbee in China, a bird-watching strategy for Honduras, and something called Skatistan. You don't want to know what that is, I don't believe. None of these can be simply chalked up to delays caused by late appropriations. These have been going on decade after decade. How do we fix this problem? I think a part of the solution could be Bonuses for Cost Cutters Act. This is a bill that I put forward that is a bipartisan bill that simply gives bonuses to federal employees that find wasteful spending that can be eliminated. In the last Congress, this bill passed out of committee with bipartisan support. The House version passed out of the Government Oversight Committee on a voice vote. It would seem like a simple, non-controversial bill that should sail through Congress and save the taxpayers money. Reining in and controlling end-of-the-year spending binges should be a bipartisan priority. Hopefully our hearing today will renew interest on both sides of the aisle to address accelerated wasteful spending at the end of the fiscal year. With that, I'd like to recognize Ranking Member Peters for his opening statement.